What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 399 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. KB and Deej coming at you. Apologies for the delay. I celebrated a birthday. Then the very next day, when we were going to record, I had a power outage in the morning that absolutely boondoggled the entire studio setup, which normally doesn't happen because, no pun intended, all of our electricity and everything is underground. So for it to go out, a transformer has to be like decimated. So I lost power for about like 2.5, 3 hours, and it messed up a ton of stuff. I had to like reconfigure my whole setup. It was a pain. Friday was Halloween, and I woke up with the allergy battle of my life. And I was like, I guess that's what I get for attempting to do 30 minutes of cardio with my brand new birthday gift of a walking pad that I will have in the studio sooner rather than later. So for the past 3 days, I've been battling my congestion demons like no other. And that's what happens when you get old, kids. So don't get old. But we're here. Not a lot going on. Obviously, some like NLL semantics things have happened. Guys have signed. Congrats to the Bandits. Matt Vince is back. Trades have happened. Corey Small, our good friend of the program, he's going to San Diego. Connor Robinson's going to San Diego, and a whole bunch more. But rather than just like rattling down a list of transaction wire for you guys again, we're gonna hit the old reliable like SpongeBob, and we're gonna do the 2021 PLL Revisionist Redraft as we wait for the NLL season to come along, which will be nice this coming week, Deej, because not only do we have episode 400, not only will we have the Boxies award ballots out and tabulated and everything for the next week or so to get that ready to rock and roll and have our winners for everything fully concluded. But in a couple of weeks, we'll have an NLL season, and I'll be at Media Day for the Philadelphia Wings this coming week. So we'll have a couple of interviews with the boys, with the lads, friends of the program. Who knows? Brennan O'Neill, Michael Sowers, Joe Resitaritz is back. There's Blaze Reardon. Like, we're going to have interviews, which will be nice. And they're in-person interviews, which are always above and beyond stellar. So we'll have some additional content for you guys over the next couple of weeks. But you guys seem to have enjoyed the revisionist redraft, so we're going to hit 2021 for the PLL, which will be the first like full scope redraft of 32 picks going all the way through all 8 teams. Cannons are now in the chat, and we'll see how it all plays out. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI and at OTB LaxPod across the board. Helps the show continue to grow. We're at 1,732 Twitter followers, and we're at like 700 and some odd on Instagram. So let's get to 2,000 and 1,000 respectively for OTB over there. Follow Hoots at Hoot Sports Media. Follow DJ at SCS_next great. Follow me at KBICZL311. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Deej, this past week on the OTB feed, which does not include the first 75 episodes of this show because we didn't create an individual feed for it at the time, we hit 45,000 lifetime downloads. Love to see it. Shout out to the people.
Thank you.
So keep subscribing so we can hit more milestones like that sooner rather than later. And of course, subscribe to both the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia is where you get full video episodes of this show every week, full video episodes of every show of our original 6 on the network. And apologies, I don't know what's going on with my microphone, so if it cuts out a little bit, my bad. But original 6 podcasts are all on the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, and we're at 1,115 subscribers, which means we are 85 away from our next subscriber milestone. So keep subscribing. And of course, subscribe to the OTB YouTube channel, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. We're at 63 subscribers over there. Once we get to 100, Deej, Hoots. I don't know what just happened. We love technical difficulties. This is what makes your life. But subscribe to the OTB channel, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. That way, when the college season rolls around, we get Deej and the kids, popping off with the college show, leading the charge. First installment of OTB University.
No, absolutely not.
I
don't know. That's kind of a cool name though.
At the U.
OTB University is
Underground
solid.
U. Oh man. But yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channels. Help us out. Help us get to a point where we're doing this full time, and then we get to have more crazy shenanigans like this. And hopefully one day we'll #build the loop, and DJ and I will be doing episodes in person all the time. Who knows? That'd be fantastic.
Building the loop. They ain't ready for the loop.
Man, I'm beyond ready for the loop. What are you talking about?
You, I'm ready for the loop.
Every week we'd be doing the show in person.
Save some money too, damn it.
Shit. Saving hella bread.
Need that now.
#build the loop in the comment section.
Maybe if enough of us ask, they'll do it.
Just ask nicely. Shit. They're cutting off fucking benefits for people to not eat. They're not going to build a goddamn loop.
I know.
Fucking scumbags. What's poppin', Deej? How we living?
I'm okay. I'm okay. The Packers let me down this weekend, but everything else has gone fairly well. So I can be happy.
It was a nice bye week. I love a bye. My mom said it best. She said, it's a lot less stressful of a Sunday when your team isn't playing. I was like, yeah. It is like that.
You can kick your feet up and relax.
Yeah. It is weird because we're recording this on a Sunday, day that the clocks got turned back. Daylight savings time is a sham. Our sleep schedules are going to be jacked up for the next 2 weeks.
Time is a construct.
It is.
But don't get me started on that.
The embodiment of my mind is an enigma. But shout out to everybody for the birthday wishes. Meant a lot. Was really cool to see the outpouring of people from my personal life to this crazy social media life that I've built for myself. So big thanks to everybody who wished your boy a happy birthday. They're not ready for season 32. It's going to be a ton of fun. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw it. Like 31 was like genuinely one of the best years of my life from just like an enjoyment perspective and just looking to build upon that. And part of that is doing this show each and every week. So shout out to OTB Nation, and let's have ourselves a season 32, folks, because they renewed us for another year.
I hope they keep renewing you for many years to come.
You telling me?
Because
I'm gonna need about
I can't do
90
it.
plus more of them things.
At least so you can be around as long as I'm around.
I'm trying to hit triple dig.
Just be around as long as I'm around and I'll be happy.
That's why I got a walking pad for my birthday. The blood flow through the body is gonna be at an all-time high. Just air pumping through the veins, getting everything going. No sludge.
Whole new KB, huh?
Man, It's going to be wild. I already told Pitts when I'm producing his show, I'm just going to, because I'm not on camera for that, I'm just going to walk, but I'm going to be live on the house show Instagram. I mean, you had a hysterical comment. Marathon Pod's got a whole new meaning.
It does. My man's about to be making pods walking a marathon at the same time.
Dude, it's crazy. That thing goes up to like 3.8 miles per hour.
That's
and like,
running speed.
Right. And like, I feel like you don't think of that like just when you just see the number. But once you start going at it, you're like, oh, I can get a nice little jog going on right here.
Yeah. You damn near sprinting.
Fact. Not damn near. I was running for my damn life.
He said, I ain't moved that fast about 15 years.
My joints were unhinged.
I'm screaming. They're yelling at you.
They were like, what the hell is going on right now?
Like, hey, you ain't eased us into this, bro.
Man.
You threw us full-fledged. They're angry.
It's absurd. But hey, the walking pad is here. Who knows? Them OTB live streams about to be something different this year.
Y'all heard it here first.
I'm gonna be up here. I'm gonna be like it's gonna be like the inverse of the neighbor from Home Improvement. You're just gonna see like my chest line. Because I'm gonna be standing, just moving.
Like, is he okay? Yeah, he fine.
They're gonna put a 21 and up filter on our live streams.
Speaking and when our views go down, I'm gonna blame you.
They're gonna go up. What you mean? They're not gonna see my face.
I'm screaming.
Speaking of, did you see Dukes ran the New York City Marathon and did not learn his lesson from last year?
I did.
I did. The bloodiest nips.
At least put a little tape on them, Johns.
Man. Shout out to the boy running the marathon, though. You wouldn't catch me dead.
You know I'm not doing that.
Hell no.
You know I'm not. You
no
keep me
chance.
far away from anything got to do with running.
No chance.
I'm straight.
Oh, speaking of some things, our boy Sammy Adams, shout out to the boy, wrote that banger of a WNBA song with Roan and Jet Ski. These we might be getting one step closer to potentially an OTB theme song.
Yeah?
Been talking to the boy Jet Ski.
Okay.
Your boy, KB, we're working on scheduling and everything. Going up to Barstool, New York headquarters to kick it with the boy Jet Ski and interview him for the pod at Barstool HQ.
Ooh. Okay. This is where I quote myself with one of my favorite lines ever. I hate my day job. which I do and I don't. That is all a joke. My day job's pretty cool, but man, it takes some pretty cool opportunities away from me.
Yeah, shout out to Jet Ski. Just posted the WNBA song on my Instagram story and was like, shout out to the boys for popping off with an absolute banger. And then we just got to DMing and follow each other now and working on getting me up to the stool, up to the pirate ship HQ. And we're going to have Jet Ski on. I'll probably co-run it on the main pod and this show. Just because obviously Sammy Adams, friend of the network, friend of the program. But looking forward to that big time. And Jet Ski's the man. If you haven't listened to Jet Ski's like music that he produces and everything, he's one of the most talented motherfuckers on the planet. And I'm pumped that we'll be getting him on and in person. And I'll get to hang out with him at Barstool HQ for a little bit and hopefully see Brian Fitzsimmons, the boy, up there as well. But we're infiltrating the stool, Deej.
Gang. I'm telling you, I'm upset I can't be there physically. I will definitely be there in spirit.
Facts.
Sure, some of that will come out on the mic while you're doing your thing. I'm sure of it. I can't stay away for too long. But this is a huge thing for the pod, so I'm happy for it, whether I'm there or not. Lots of big things are coming. Like you said, season 32, year 26, season 26, however you want to look at it. 27? 26. I turned 26.
Yeah.
However you want to look at it.
We need that
However you
season
want
to
to
run
look
as long
at
as
it.
possible.
However you want to look at it, this next year for OTB is about to be a ride.
It's about to be crazy. And we got a fun episode here. We're going to, like we said, go through the 2021 PLL College Revisionist Redraft. And before we do, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, you want to stand out in the crowd this NLL season, rep your favorite lacrosse players' favorite lacrosse podcast. No better place than with PHI Apparel Company, because with their unique designs for all, there is no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co and get your official OTB shirts and hoodies. And when you go to checkout, use code Underground to get 10% off your next order from PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code Underground, 10% off your next merch order. Stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of the Outside the Box podcast and Underground Sports Philadelphia. All right, Deej, it's like Herbie in this, John. Locked and loaded, fully loaded PLL College Draft from a revisionist standpoint. 8 teams, 32 picks, no round of the 2021 college draft was the same order at all. So that is a fun aspect of this, where when we look at each round, nothing is going to remain the same as we go round by round. There's a lot of teams with multiple picks, a lot of teams with very few and minimal picks. But we're going to go round by round, and I will give the people kind of an inkling of where things initially were in 2021. This was obviously the Jeff Teat draft. This was also the draft that was done on Twitter Spaces. If we remember, or if we remember correctly, there was Twitter Spaces for either the entry draft or whatever it may have been. This was like, this happened. Some part of it was broadcast on Twitter Spaces. But it was Atlas, Water Dogs, Chrome, Redwoods, Archers, Chaos, Whipsnakes, Atlas in the first round of this draft. And it went Jeff Teat, Michael Sowers, JT Giles Harris, TD Ireland, Jared Connors, Mac O'Keefe, Connor Curse, Dox Aitken. That was the first round of 2021. We'll see if that all remains the same or not. But Deej, with the first pick in the 2021 PLL College Revisionist Redraft, the Atlas Lacrosse Club selects
Jeff Teat.
I'm with you there. Just makes too much sense.
Yeah,
you know, obviously
he's the best player in the world. He was the best player in that draft, regardless of who you were that year. You were taking Jeff Teat at 1.
And obviously, you know, Jeff got drafted the year prior. This has no 2020 draft has no bearing on this draft in our book right now. But that would be a fun rabbit hole to go down. Also, speaking of when we put out the Shore signal, I do want to say, Phil Shore, I did see the Shore signal. And he sent us some good info for what we're going to need it for some old school MLL transacciones. So Phil Shore, shout out to the boy. The Shore signal was retrieved by OTB Nation. I'm going Jeff Teat as well. It's just, there's very few players in professional lacrosse that go number 1 overall in both leagues. Jeff Teat being one of them, and being the first since Lyle Thompson, speaks for itself, in my opinion. And it's just a perfect fit. And we know Jeff is a champion with the Atlas now, but I think Jeff gave Atlas an identity after Paul Rabel left to go to the Cannons.
Okay.
That was like, Atlas obviously had their identity, and it was like that Team USA,
like new guy to build around.
But this was like their true, like, new identity, where 2019-2020 Atlas was the come down from Team USA in 2018, and it's like, let's get the boys back together type of thing. This was like ushering in like an actual like face of the franchise culture standpoint for the Atlas, and obviously Ben Rubior coming in as well, and him kind of getting an opportunity to put a stamp on a draft. That was how you do it. Which brings us to the Philadelphia Water Dogs, formerly known as Water Dogs Lacrosse Club, who selected Michael Sowers. I think we both are on the same page that Michael Sowers still remains the number 2 overall pick, because had Jeff Teat not been available in this draft,
Sowers would have gone 1.
Pretty obvious Michael Sowers would have been the number 1 overall pick as well.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, these two guys wound up, I think, in the best possible spots for their respective teams, even before cities were attached to them.
Yep.
They just fit the culture of each franchise and kind of gave them the face of the franchise look that they both needed. Which brings us to Chrome Lacrosse Club, who selected JT Giles Harris, and I think still select JT Giles Harris.
Yes, there's no question. They still go with JT here. When you look at what they had returning and what they needed moving forward, they needed kind of that third defenseman to complete that group, but also to set it up for the future. Like,
yeah,
as we look at it now, we have this conversation every year at the end of the season. Are Mike Manley and Jesse Bernhardt going to hang it up? So this was that pick for them to go, okay, when these guys hang it up, we have a solid defenseman down there to pair with 2 other guys. And it makes it easy for them too. Like, okay, we don't need a cover guy. We need another guy that can be like Jesse and be the leader / quarterback of our defense. And then we need another off-ball cover guy. Like, that's it. That's what you're looking for. And going and picking up JT Giles Harris made it easy for them to set that up for the future. Like, okay, we know what we have in JT. What other 2 defenders do we need to complete this set when these guys move on? Perfect pick for them. I don't see it changing.
And it's very rare that you get an all-world class defenseman available to you in a draft. So to have JT there was just the perfect pick for that team in the moment that they needed an all-world class defenseman, because that had been their issue for a number of years. Which brings us to the Redwoods, Deej. And with the 4th pick, they selected TD Ierlan.
Give me just a second here. I'm going to say they take him just because there were so many other face-off guys taking in this draft that if they had taken a second to whiff on him, he'd be gone.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to them. Kyle Gallagher was taken in this draft. Connor Gaffney was taken in this draft. Gerard Arceri was taken in this draft. Charlie Leonard was taken in this draft. JT was clearly above and beyond the best face-off athlete in this draft, and the Redwoods, after the 2020 bubble season, clearly needed that staple at the face-off stripe, especially following Greg Gorenlian's retirement. Then you see what you had with a guy that you brought in from the entry draft in Pasculjan. You brought a guy in from the college draft as well. Neither of them worked out. You needed somebody that was going to assert themselves at the stripe to compete with the Joe Nardells and Trevor Baptiste, and that's what TD did in his rookie season. That's what he's done since he's been in the league. I think it's a no-brainer pick, and they still go TD at 4.
Yeah, I don't think there's really like I said, it's really more about, for me, because I feel like they would have taken him regardless, but because of how many other guys were taken at that position, if you wait on him, somebody else steals him.
Yeah, which if they had waited, who knows what pick number 5 would have been, and that is the Archers, and they took Jared Connors in this spot, who obviously no longer on the team. He was traded to the aforementioned Redwoods. Do they still take Jared Connors at pick number 5? I still think they do. Even in a world where they end up trading him, Chris Bates still talks about how he loves Jared Connors as a player. I think he was by far and away the best LSM in this draft. Even when you look at, other guys that were drafted, he's really the only one that made sense at that position, and it gave the Archers stability at that position and allowed them to go on their championship runs with Jared on that team. There's a reason he's a PLL champion. I still think they take Jared Connors at 5.
I want to say they take somebody else, but there also were literally like no other LSMs really,
Yeah.
and that's the one position they needed at the time. When they drafted Jared, they had Graham.
Yes, because they got Graham in the
Graham, Warren Jeffrey, and who was their third at the time?
Defenseman.
Yeah. I know it wasn't Scott. It wasn't Ratliff anymore.
Give me 30 seconds and I'll be able to tell you.
It's like right here on the tip of my tongue too, because like I can see him. This makes me feel like I don't know ball.
No, you know ball. I can say that because it wasn't you saying it.
Right? But like I can see this guy like right in front of me.
It was...
Or was that Scotty's last year? And then he retired after the 21 season. I think that's it.
No, it was Matt McMahon.
Bingo. Thank you. Yep, 77. Yes, I can see it now. They had those three, so they didn't need the defenseman. Their offense had Grant, had Tom, had Matt Moore. Like
they still had Scott Ratliff that year. That's when he switched to...
He switched down to play D. Yep.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Like, they just needed kind of that one to take over Scott at LSM once he, like, officially really moved on from the team. And two, they had the pieces elsewhere. And this was really that one position of need.
And that was Jackson Place coming back for limited time after his injury in 2019. And
yep.
They needed stability at LSM for sure. Which takes us to the Chaos Lacrosse Club, the inevitable champions this season in 2021. And they selected Mac O'Keefe with the 6th pick in this draft. Now, Mac obviously wins a championship with the Chaos and then goes on to the Archers in 2023 and ends up winning multiple titles with the Archers, but I don't think the Chaos end up really winning a title without Mac O'Keefe. And when you look at the other players available and you look at what that Chaos roster was at the time, do they still go Mac? I still think they do, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I want to see where you have them going.
I think they still go Mac here as well. Looking at what they had on their roster at the time, I think they do still trade him eventually. And then
he's a free agent. He signed with the Archers in free agency, but
all the same in my book. I still think he eventually moves on, but when you look at who's available at the attack position in the rest of this draft, that you don't get the shooting prowess that he brought to that Chaos team and expanded their range with anybody else. So, and also, he's the best attackman left at this point in the draft. So I really don't think they go elsewhere.
Yeah, I just want to see what his stats were his rookie year. Not that I'm questioning.
Oh, I talked a little too fast.
So in Mac's rookie season, he had 13 points, 7 1-point goals, 2 2-point goals, 2 assists, shot 31% in 9 games. The only reason I'm pondering whether or not to take a different player here is yes, you still have Mark Glacini. Yes, you still have Pat Resch. And yes, you have Ian McKay on this roster. Can we think of a world where Andy Towers takes a Danny Logan or a Ryan Terafenko instead?
Not at this time in the PLL. Like you said, you just named those three guys. They all were still 2, 3, 4 years left in their career before they're even thinking about retiring. So like it's kind of hard to bite that bullet and not make your offense better.
Yeah.
Knowing you have that slew. What caught me up was looking right in the next round and going, okay, does Towers do the crazy thing and take Jake Caraway? Because he fits their style of play. He still stretches with the shooting, and he kind of has that chip on the shoulder coming out of Georgetown, and kind of the words that were said about him coming out. Like he kind of had that built-in chip that Chaos plays with. But I'm cool with the Mac O'Keefe pick.
Yeah, I'll stay with Mac. But it is intriguing to think about, like, potentially Danny Logan or Ryan Terafenko being on that roster and what that could look like too, because not only, are they unbelievable short sticks, they also wound up playing the box game, both of them, and fit that style of play that, imagine your short stick unit being run by Terry / Danny Logan and Ian McKay, who are just like all world, all three of them. But yeah, I think I stick with Mac there, which brings us to the Whip Snakes. And they selected Connor Kirst, who is now obviously a member of the Boston Cannons, was traded there. I don't know if they go Kirsty here. Again, if Stags is looking at this draft board and looking at his draft board from this overall draft, he had 1.5 good picks for his roster. 2 of them end up getting traded, being Kirsty and another player. And the 3rd round pick is really the only one that has become a legitimate, potential future, I'll say it, Hall of Famer. I think that's where he goes in round 1 instead. And I think Stags shocks a lot of people and goes Colin Squires.
Okay. I will hold off there. I will explain that later. When I get around to where Colin decides to go, or a team decides to take Colin. But I think he pulls a guy that ends up going far later in the draft that turns out to be very successful in the midfield position for his team at the moment. But I think he would arguably be just as good, if not better, on the Whip Snakes based off the offensive weapons they have. Justin Anderson.
I like that too.
I think knowing what Stags can see now of Justin and being able to incorporate that into the offense he has at the moment, and then moving forward, he takes Justin Anderson. I think maybe Tucker Dordovic is still healthy if he has Justin Anderson. Maybe Ed Smith never gets hurt if he has Justin Anderson, because you're asking those two guys to do less because you have another guy that can create in your midfield. There's a lot that could domino / trickle from Stags taking Justin Anderson instead of Connor Kirst.
That's very true. I like that pick a lot. Which brings us to the final pick of the first round, and that is Dox Aitken, who has had fluctuating stints with the Atlas Lacrosse Club / New York Atlas for a multitude of football-related reasons. I don't think the Atlas take Dox here if it's a revisionist redraft. Obviously, Doc's very talented coming out of college, but also knowing what we know now, you kind of reshuffle your board here a bit. And I think they go early on this one, but I do think they take a player that they did end up selecting, and it's Danny Logan.
I think they sit on Danny Logan. I do think they still take a guy that they take. I think they take Jake Caraway in the first. And I think they use him differently.
Okay.
Knowing what they know about him now and the way he plays and his time spent with the Water Dogs and how that changed his season. and kind of where you could use him to keep him around longer and make him feel like he's a little bit more of that offense. I think that they could, especially looking at them now, they could benefit from having another long range shooter on the squad.
I wish the Water Dogs had a second round pick in this draft because I would 1000% have them taking Jake Caraway off the rip.
I know you would.
Just because it makes so much sense. Like, just that one season he had with them was just like the ultimate, like,
especially coming after off the Ryan Brown season. So he
right,
was pretty much slotting right into a spot that they needed that help.
It was like, oh, I want Ryan Brown, and it's like, oh, we have Ryan Brown at home, and actually Ryan Brown at home's pretty damn good, and it's Jake Caraway.
Facts. We got Ryan Brown at home. His name Jake Caraway.
Which brings us to round 2. And this is the Boston Cannons' first selection as a PLL team. And it is from the University of Notre Dame defenseman Jack Keelty, who I still think they continue to select Jack Keelty here.
Yeah, I think they take Jack Keelty here as well. All I can really remember from that defense was Pulver.
Give me 30 seconds. Cannons.
I guess Brody.
It was, let's see. Technically Holden Garland was on that team.
Yep.
Keelty, Brody, Pulver, and Scott Hooper?
He didn't play much.
No.
But yeah. Yep. So yeah, I think it's pretty easy to tell that they're still going to take this guy. They needed to lock down that backside.
And the way that Jack Keelty has just become an all-world defenseman too, it's just makes way too much sense. Which brings us to the Atlas, where DG will have a new pick here because with the second pick in the second round, they took Jake Caraway.
Now I think they take Danny Logan.
Okay. Let me look at the draft board here. I still have Jake Caraway at my disposal, but do they take Jake here? Looking at who else is on the board. I think they do. I'm going to stick with Jake Caraway here at this pick. Because even Atlas Jake Caraway was a shit ton of fun. And made a lot of sense for that team and what they were doing at the time offensively. So I like Jake Caraway there for the Atlas, which brings us to the third pick, which was Danny Logan. So you have another new pick here, as do I.
Yes. With this pick, I think they took Trey Leclaire.
Okay. T-Ray Leclaire. I was looking at Trey Leclaire, but looking at rosters, looking at who's available, some interesting players still available, I think this is where they end up taking Docs. They go back-to-back offensive weapons, and they take Docs in the second round now that they know that, potentially he's going to go play a little bit of football. It's not as detrimental to the draft stock, and it makes the draft pick look a little bit more pleasing from that standpoint. But they still get Doc Aiken. They still get the 3 guys there. And their draft class stays the same, just a little reshuffling of when they were taken, which brings us to Chrome. And Ryan Tarafenko is on the board. And guess what? Ryan Tarafenko is
off the board.
Going to Chrome.
He's off the board now. Yes, no questions.
This is a player that I could have seen be more of the pick for Chaos in the first round based on the talent, based on how similar yet different he is to Ian McKay. And just knowing that he was going to end up playing box as well at an elite level, and how he would have fit in so well with AT's squad. So don't not think that Tarafenko realistically could have been a first round pick in this draft for sure. It's just a matter of where it falls. And I just don't think the Atlas would have doubled up on the short stick position at that point in time. And with Mac O'Keefe being on the board and how prolific he was in college and how, productive he was with the Chaos for the time that he was there, it still made sense for them to take Mac O'Keefe. So Terry still ends up with Chrome. He's still a Denver Outlaw at the end of the day. And we keep it pushing to the Archers, who take Trey LeClaire in my draft. But Deej, who do they take in your draft?
In my draft, I do think they are going to stay with a midfielder, and I think they're going to take a guy that they take later in the draft, a little bit earlier, in Jeff Traynor.
Okay. Interesting. Jeff Traynor, obviously now a member of the Cannons. I could have also seen Trey LeClaire going to Chaos in that first round as well over Mac O'Keefe, depending on how things wanted to shake out. He fits that team incredibly well too. But Jeff Traynor to the Archers. I've got Trey LeClaire to the Archers, which takes us to back-to-back Chaos picks, where they took Kyle Gallagher and Tanner Cook.
I think Tanner Cook stays. You can put him either in that first slot or the second. Doesn't really matter to me. And I think they move Ryan Smith all the way up.
Ryan Smith. Where did he go?
Fourth round.
Fourth round. Wow. Yeah, I still think they take Tanner Cook there. I like that Ryan Smith pick a lot in the second round. Looking at the rest of their draft board. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm going to go Ryan Smith as well. It makes a ton of sense. Fits their roster really well.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those guys were really good.
I say they were still very Canadian back then. Right, left side, pick and roll, a lot of that.
And both of them thrived on that Chaos team as rookies and into the future. So, yeah, Ryan Smith makes a ton of sense there. Which takes us to the Whip Snakes, who took Ryan Tierney in the second round.
This is where I actually think the Whip Snakes jumped the gun and took Connor Curse.
Okay.
Based on, or excuse me, hold on.
Colin Squires.
No. Yes. Thank you. I was going to say, because I actually am along the lines of you with the Curse pick. But yeah, I think they bounce up and take Curse here, or Squires. The only reason I didn't have them take Squires in the first round is because outside of the Archers, nobody needed an LSM.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sit and go get somebody else that you really need that is a little more popular or might be taken before Squires. So and I partially think that's why Stags sat on him so long in the initial draft, is because he was there pretty much at his disposal.
Yeah, Connor Curse still on the board here. But I think Stags looks at something that happens in this draft where Danny Logan went in the first round, Terry goes in the second round. I think he instead addresses a position of need that the Whipsnakes still kind of need at that short stick position. And I think they go Peter Dearth here.
Okay.
Who was the very next pick to lead off the third round. But I think Dearth goes to the Whipsnakes with the final pick in the second round there to kind of give a little bit of oomph to that short stick room that the Whipsnakes have so desperately needed since Tyler Warren retired. So I'm going to go with Peter Dearth there, which takes us to the third round, and the Atlas took Peter Dearth with that pick.
I think they still take Dearth.
Okay.
They had finally had to kind of add and bolster to that room, which is why they went with 2 guys in this draft in that short stick D mid room. So I think they still do that, and this was the perfect spot for them to grab Dearth.
Looking at the board here, Atlas, they still have all the guys that they picked in my draft up until now. I think they go with I think the Atlas get a little cheeky here, and they take Justin Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Justin Anderson, we've waxed poetic about him since he was a rookie, and just imagining him staying in, Carolina blue, but now it's Atlas blue, and being a part of that midfield where I think at the time that was still a pretty prevalent weakness for the Atlas, just in terms of consistency and finding a voice in that midfield. Justin Anderson really solidifies that for them and just gives them another offensive weapon for them to take here after taking Caraway, Dox Aitken. They had Justin Anderson in my draft, which takes us to the Archers, Deej, who took Jeff Traynor. So you have a new pick on deck here for the Archers.
Yes, I do. I think they take Connor Gaffney. Just go a little bit earlier and pick up the face-off guy as the other ones start to come off the board.
I still think they go Jeff Traynor here. This was kind of like their own version of Ian McKay again, where it was like they needed that Swiss Army knife midfielder, and they went and got him, even though he ends up leaving in free agency. I still think at the end of the day, Batesy still takes Jeff Traynor there. No doubt about it, which takes us to Chaos, and they took Jared Bernhardt.
I think they go a little bit earlier and take Kyle Thornton here. Go and grab that D guy that they needed to get earlier.
Classmate of our guy, Stephen McAvoy, and Redwood's legend, Kyle Thornton. The Chaos here, I think, kind of are in a weird spot, but they don't go Bernhardt there. I think this is where Carolina goes. And I say Carolina, but I think this is where they take Kyle Gallagher. They took him in the second round in the original draft. They still needed a face-off guy badly at that point, and I still think they go and get their face-off guy in Kyle Gallagher just a round later now that they took Ryan Smith in the second round. Which takes us to Chrome, and this is Justin Anderson, one of the all-time great late-round picks who is off the board for both of us. So we have to muster up a new pick for the Chrome here. But, I mean, talk about value. 2021 draft, third round. Justin Anderson, you can make the argument, that he is one of the greatest third-round picks of all time. And this third round has 3 of those guys, 5 guys, really, that have become legitimate, PLL contributors to whatever roster they are currently on, that being Jared Bernhardt, Jeff Traynor, Justin Anderson, Colin Squires, and Charlie Bertrand, who we still have not mentioned. And I mean, Peter Dearth made a name for himself as well, but I think the 5 guys I mentioned there before, for them to go in the third round in this draft is pretty crazy in hindsight.
Yeah, this draft was loaded. There was a reason they called this a really one of the best drafts ever. It's proven itself time and time again.
So who do you have Chrome taking over Justin Anderson.
Steven Reifus.
Reifus, our guy.
I think he replaces that same speed and playmaking value that they were looking for in Justin Anderson, although he went off the board much earlier in my draft to the Whipsnakes.
I like it. I think with this pick, in a very eerily similar way, I think at the time and now, this is where Chrome go and get Charlie Bertrand.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fits the Justin Anderson mold in a way, not as much in terms of the two-way switchability that Justin Anderson has now, but from an offensive standpoint, you go get an offensive midfielder who can, go inside, who can, hit those singles and has one of the best celebrations ever. I think this is where Chrome get Charlie Bertrand to add to that midfield, which brings us to the Archers. And they took Connor Gaffney here, which you had them taking earlier. So you have a new pick on deck.
Yes. The Archers are going to take, which you are not going to like this. Cover your ears if you want to take the second to do so. Ethan Walker.
Okay.
Not that they needed any more shooters on that team, but I feel like he fits their style of move the ball, shoot the ball very well.
I have Connor Gaffney going here to the Archers still. Because in a similar vein, this is obviously pre-Sisselberger. They still needed the face-off guy.
Mm-hmm.
And with two guys off the board, with Kyle Gallagher going to Chaos and obviously TD going, Archer still needed their face-off guy, so I think they go get him here in the third round, which brings us to Chaos, who took Kyle Thornton. So, Deej, who is your new pick for the Chaos?
Connor Kersh. I think his switchability would have been great for him, for that team. I think he would have been one of those guys that kind of ran with Ian McKay and that, hey, you're going to play a lot of defense for us, but if you feel comfortable against your matchup that's out there or you have the advantage going to the offensive side, stay out there because we trust you to score and run the offense and know what's going on. So I feel like he could have had some success there before probably eventually moving on and still ending up with Cannons at some point anyway.
Which, who knows, because that was a trade. So who knows,
right.
What that trade ends up looking like eventually. But I like that pick. It's also my pick, Connor Kirst, finally off the board, and Andy Towers gets into the Kirst, dealings and gets himself a Kirst brother. Which brings us to the Whipsnakes, and they took Colin Squires here. So we both have new picks on deck.
Yes. Who did I have them taking? The Whips. I think they take Nick Grill around earlier.
Same. Even though Nick Grill ends up getting traded, still one of the funniest rookie cards of all time. He's in a Whipsnakes uniform, chrome logo. Nick Grill, friend of the program. Like we said, if we had infinite funds, Nick Grill would be a part of this podcast, no doubt about it. So yeah, Nick Grill is also my pick there, which brings us to the Redwoods, Deej, and they took Charlie Bertrand.
I got him keeping the Birdman.
Birdman.
I have him keeping Birdman. I think he fits that Redwoods roster well.
I have a new pick on deck here. I think this is where Jackson Merrill gets taken.
Okay. He might have a little bit longer of a career.
Or less bouncing around?
Yeah.
One or the other. I'm going to go Jackson Merrill here in the third round for the Woods, which takes us to the fourth round. The Cannon's back on the clock, and it is Steven Reifus, who you had going to Chrome around earlier. So who is your new pick for the Cannons?
I feel like I have somebody hanging around here. Hold on. Oh, Docs.
Docs?
Or no, or did I give Docs away? Not Docs. Sorry, not Docs. Not Docs.
No,
I
you
think
still have Docs available.
Yeah, I think they take Ryan Tierney though, not Docs.
Okay. I like that pick of Ryan Tierney, and I wish I didn't have Steven Reifus available because I like that pick a lot.
I've been cooking.
But I'm going to go Steven Reifus still here for the Cannons. Which takes us to the Atlas, who in this round took Gerard Arceri at the faceoff spot.
I think they keep him.
Gerard Arceri stays.
Because I think this was pre-Trevor.
No, Trevor was year one.
Or they needed a backup. Like I think their backup had just retired or whatever.
They had no backup, I don't think.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to go with This is such an interesting spot. But I'm going to say they go Jamie Trimboli.
Okay.
Why? Don't ask me. It just spoke to me. Which takes us to the Water Dogs, and they took Ethan Walker in this spot. So you have a new pick on deck, Deej. I'm going to continue having Ethan Walker in this spot, even though the final year of Ethan Walker was not ideal for the Water Dogs. I still think he was a crucial part of them winning the 2022 championship, pairing him up with Jack Hanna at the time. I still think Ethan Walker was like a huge part of the ecosystem of the Water Dogs in the early go under Andy Copeland, and they still go Ethan Walker here. And I still think he's one of the best fourth round picks in PLL history.
I have them taking Docs. I think that they have a lot of pieces for him to be successful in the midfield, but also they feel like they would be okay or have shuffling pieces when he decides to take his break to play football, if he still does that.
Which brings us to Chrome, and they took Jackson Morrill here. So
I still have them taking Jackson. I think in their mind he was going to take over. Was it Eric Law who was there at the time?
No, he was still with Atlas.
Who was playing their ex at the time?
Chrome, it was. Let me pull up that roster. Give me 30 seconds.
Because I feel like I know.
That was Ned Crotty was on that attack line.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Malloy.
He was on the wing.
And Jordan Wolf, who got hurt in game one.
Yep. He was supposed to replace Jordan Wolf, which I think is still their mindset, whether Jordan gets hurt or not. I think that they looked at Jackson and saw a lot of similarities in size and speed and playmaking and still take him so that they don't have to change their offense a ton when they make that transition from Jordan.
Colin Heacock was on that team.
Mm-hmm. But I think he joined
Heacock on Peacock.
Yeah, he joined
through the whatchamacallit draft.
He joined it was, but yeah, Heacock on Peacock was wild.
And in preseason, Randy Stotts was on that roster before he got hurt in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy Palasek was on that.
Yeah, TP.
The legend.
Forgot about TP.
That roster was a time.
Wild.
John Madursky was on that team. John Rannigan, Kevin Rogers.
Galloway, I think, was on that
Galloway was still on that team. TJ Camizio. James Barclay was in that defense. Will Haas. Brendan Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Eli Salama. Nick Washuta was the backup goalie.
Yeah, he was.
What a squad. What a squad. So you've got Jackson Morill. I am going to go with who am I going to go with here? I'm going to go Ryan Tierney.
Okay.
He's available. Similar type of player. I'm going to go Ryan Tierney. Which brings us to the Redwoods, who took Jamie Tremoli here.
I think they run it back with Jamie.
I'm going to have the Redwoods select. Who do they take? Who do I have available? That's the real question. I guess I'm going to have them take Charlie Leonard a pick earlier. Which brings us to Chaos, which was Ryan Smith.
I have Chaos taking...
Oh, I know who I have available.
I have Chaos taking Gallagher. Their face-off guy, finally.
Okay.
Or, no. I think I already had them take Gallagher.
You had them take... Let's see. No, you did not.
No, I moved Smith up. Who did I have them take in the third round?
Connor Kirst.
And then Kyle Thornton.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll take Gallagher.
This is where I have the Chaos taking Jared Bernhardt.
Mm-hmm.
The real fourth round draft and stash in the Andy Towers era. Which, did I have him off the board yet? No, I did not. Okay. So that brings us to the Whips, who took Nick Grill.
I will have them take a wild take here, Jared Bernhardt, because they have no reason not to, and whether they take him or not, they're going to be okay.
Yeah. I am going to have the Whipsnakes take Gerard Arceri here. Get their back up to Nards a little bit early. Which brings us to the Redwoods, who took Charlie Leonard.
I have them taking Charlie still.
Which I'm going to do the same. I'm going to redact my last pick because I didn't realize I didn't take a certain player yet. At least I don't think I did. Yeah, so with the previous Redwoods pick, I will have the Redwoods take Kyle Thornton. And then they will take Charlie Leonard with the last pick.
Bernhardt,
so there it is.
Almost my mystery relevant.
There it is. My revisionist redraft for the 2021 PLL College Draft. Jeff Teat, Michael Sowers, JT Giles Harris, TD Erlin, Jared Connors, Mac O'Keefe, Colin Squires, Danny Logan, Jack Keelty, Jake Caraway, Dox Aitken, Ryan Terafenko, Trey LeClaire, Tanner Cook, Ryan Smith, Peter Dirth, Justin Anderson, Jeff Trainer, Kyle Gallagher, Charlie Bertrand, Connor Gaffney, Connor Kirst, Nick Grill, Jackson Morill, Stephen Reefus, Jamie Trimboli, Ethan Walker, Ryan Tierney, Kyle Thornton, Jared Bernhardt, Gerard Arceri, and Charlie Leonard. And for Deej, it's Jeff Teat, Michael Sowers, JT Giles Harris, TD Ireland, Jared Connors, Mac O'Keefe, Justin Anderson, Jake Caraway, Jack Keelty, Danny Logan, Trey LeClaire, Ryan Terafenko, Jeff Trainer, Tanner Cook, Ryan Smith, Colin Squires, Peter Dirth, Connor Gaffney, Kyle Thornton, Stephen Reefus, Ethan Walker, Connor Kirst, Nick Grill, Charlie Bertrand, Ryan Tierney, Gerard Arceri, Dox Aitken, Jackson Morrell, Jamie Trimboli, Kyle Gallagher, Jared Bernhardt, and Charlie Leonard.
Yeah, I know I did it better than him this time.
Some good picks. I think between the two of us, we got some good adjustments to this draft. This draft went from really good in the beginning, pretty good in the second round, really good in the second round when you consider Keelty, Caraway, Logan, Terafenko, Trey LeClaire, plus Tanner Cook and Ryan Tierney, all had multi-year careers and still going. Third round, Jeff Trainer, Jared Bernhardt, Justin Anderson, Colin Squires, Charlie Bertrand, all still going. Round 4, Jackson Morill, Ryan Smith, Nick Grill, Ethan Walker, all had multi-year careers, still having multi-year careers. It's like the true duality. It's either really, really good or then there's some really, really bad.
Yeah. There wasn't really a down the line with this draft.
Yeah.
You either fared very well or you did not fare good at all.
Right. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on the 2021 PLL College Revisionist Redraft, what your picks would have been. Leave them in the comment section, leave them in a podcast review, tweet them at us, whatever it may be. We want to hear what you guys would think. Also, check out the OTB YouTube channel because we are on the quest for perfection in the PLL College Draft Sporkle quiz, which I thought we started out pretty hot. Definitely had some big misses on the first episode, but
yeah, we did.
Go run that video up. There's a lot of good stuff in that. So we're going to keep doing that until we get 100%, and then that's when we move on to the next quiz.
Bang.
Because I think there's 4 PLL or 5 PLL quizzes on there of different topics and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. And to keep up to date with everything going on in the PLL, guys, there's no better way to do it than in the PLL app. Guys, go to the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, download the PLL app. And when you go to the redeem code section, type in OTBPOD. That's OTB Pod. You get 500 XP on your account. It's a gamified app. There's things to do in the app every single day. I got my MVP discount waiting for me right now. 25% off in the PLL shop for being an MVP. Hello. It's that simple. Download the PLL app in the App Store, Google Play Store. And when you go to the redeem code section, type in OTB Pod and get 500 XP on your account and keep up to date with everything going on in the PLL, the WLL, and more in the PLL app. T's and P's to Brian because apparently Jaden Daniels suffered a brutal arm injury, and I'm glad I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen the video, but it seems to be very bad. Very bad.
Wondering what happened because I saw people down on a knee as I have it on the TV in the studio here.
Yeah,
live reaction to. Oh God!
You found it?
Oh yeah.
You found it quick.
Oh jeez. That's gnarly. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm scared to look it up.
Barstool tweeted it. Oh, that's terrible. Big ups to Jaden Daniels, man. Yeah. That's not supposed to do that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God.
that's gnarly.
That's definitely not supposed to do that.
Also, like, why was he still in this game?
Nah, for real. This like a Derrick Rose type injury.
Ugh.
It's 38-7 with under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Let it go.
Right. It's not like your backup's like incapable. It's a proven like NFL vet.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
T's and P's to JD5. Whew. Yeah. NLL Media Days are kicking off. I'll be at Wings Media Day on Thursday. Hopefully talking to some of the guys. Got a lot planned from what was sent to me, which is going to be very exciting. Hopefully we'll have a number of guys that we are looking to actually announce some of the Boxies awards, which will be pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm looking forward to another Philadelphia Wings season. I'm pumped that Joe Resetaritz is back for another year. It's going to be interesting to see what the offense looks like with just him and no Mitch Jones really in the mix, because those two were obviously a tandem their entire Wings careers. But I think it's going to open up a lot of things for Blaze Reardon to be more involved in the offense. I think you're going to see a lot more of Brennan O'Neill unlocked all over the floor. I think it's going to open up a lot of things for Michael Sowers as well. But I'm happy Buffalo Joe is back in Philadelphia. I think this is a spot where he's comfortable. His play style fits here. And I think a lot of people I don't expect the Wings to be a championship contender this year by any means. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on them for how talented they are. And yes, we've said that over the past couple of years with more talent on the roster. But I do think bringing in a Corbeil, having Joe Resetaritz back, having a full off-season and training camp with Michael Sowers and Brennan O'Neill together, and in particular Michael Sowers just with the box game, I think a lot of people are sleeping on like how fun and exciting the Wings can be, because they're being thrown around as a team who's going to be one of the worst teams in the league. And I fail to see how that's possible with players like Brennan O'Neill, Blaze Reardon, Joe Resetaritz, Michael Sowers on your offense, and adding Chris Corbeil to Ryan Wagner and that defense, that has pieces, Alex Pace and the rest of those boys. I think Nick Damute is one of the best young goalies in the league. I don't know. I think it's an interesting season for the Wings, but I don't think they're going to be like this bottom of the barrel team.
I don't know what to think of any team in the NLL right now, except that I don't think my favorite team's going to be all that good. So I'm open arms about the NLL season this year. Whatever happens, happens, right? But I do think Philly has a lot of pieces to shock some people. I think it really all depends on how they rally around each other in the locker room. I think that's kind of been their missing piece, is that true sense of chemistry and locker room feel. If they find that out, a lot of teams may be in trouble when they play the Wings this year.
And fingers crossed, hopefully we have media access after games this year. Pretty please. Can we lock in?
With a cherry on top.
Locked in's in the chat.
Lock in.
But yeah, we'll be back at some point this week, just depending on media day. It's an all-day thing on Thursday for me. So we'll see when we're able to record and get all of the good stuff rolling. I don't know if the Boxies initial award show will be this week, but it will be within the next couple of weeks to announce everything. And then we're just going to talk to Hoots too and see what his schedule's like. Because I think running a 3-man game during the NLL season in particular just makes this show that much more fun, especially with him being as tapped in with the Mammoth as he is. We're going to see if we can just run a 3-man box and get things cooking that way during the NLL season and have some fun that way. But nonetheless, shout out to everybody for tuning in this week. Make sure you're following us on the socials at OTB LaxPod across the board. Follow DJ at SCS_next great on Twitter. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps the show continue to grow. It helps more people find the show. And of course, subscribe to both YouTube channels, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia, so you can watch full video episodes of this show each and every week, and youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod, which will be the home of the OTB College show once it gets to 100 subscribers. So get that channel to 100, and we got the OTB College show coming in 2026. Also, DJ, I meant to mention this to you. Very funny happening tonight. One of my best friend, who I officiated her wedding, has a sister who is probably like a year and a month younger than me. She tagged me on TikTok on a casting director for a casting director looking for people in the Philadelphia area to be on Love is Blind without my knowledge of it. I just like, so-and-so tagged you in a post, and I was like, huh? And I looked at it, and I was like, what the fuck? So if I'm on Love is Blind, who knows? Maybe this podcast gets real rowdy and rambunctious in the
I'll watch I'll watch every episode of that season. I promise you, if you're not wearing OTB or underground stuff, I'm on that.
Could you?
That's all you should be wearing for the whole recording sessions. I would be dead on that. Like, dude, bro, you went on national television and had an opportunity to blow us up, and you didn't? And you did. You want to think about yourself. Oh, this is all about you and finding your love interest now? Your love interest. Oh, all right.
Role reversal.
Chill. They don't need to know nothing about that.
Dog, could you imagine me on that goddamn show?
Oh, it would be hilarious.
I think the only funny benefit of that would be, I remember KFC Radio did like an ad deal with Love is Blind, and they got to record from like the pod things that they are in. So it was like doing a podcast without like seeing your co-host, and they use like all the cameras and everything. Could you imagine if we recorded OTB in one of those?
They might kick us out of there,
man. But if you see me on Love is Blind, you'll know why.
Facts.
Because I saw that tag and I was like, what is this? And I watched the video. I was like, oh my goodness. And the casting was, she was literally just looking for guys. It wasn't for women. It was just guys. I was like, oh boy.
Yep, they need you, my boy.
I hit the Kel Mitchell. Here it goes.
They need you, my boy.
Oh, I was like, oh Jesus. Take the wheel. This is how season 32 starts. I'm on Love is Blind.
Facts.
Oh, what an episode. We'll be back from Wings Media Day on Thursday. Stay locked into that. We got a lot of good stuff coming from there. I'm very excited for what's to come. We got a lot of fun stuff in the works with the Wings this year that I can't wait to share with you guys. But until then, this has been episode number 399 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube at Outside the Box Podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For Deej, I'm KB. Episode 400 is the next one.
Gang,
400
gang.
episodes of this thing. We'll see you on episode 400. We'll see you from Wings Media Day. We'll see you, Boxy Award voters. You'll have your ballots sent to you by end of day Monday or Tuesday. Promise. Just got to get it all configured into the platform we're using. Boxy awards are coming, baby. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.